So here's the brisket I had bought. Let me see. It is. Where's the weight? 11.56 pounds. 3.79 per pound. So that's probably why I bought it. I have it in my freezer. But now I see that it's probably not so good because there's a ton of fat here. But I can't really see it before I have trimmed the fat off, how much is left. Because normally I cut the fat off and then I make pastrami from the flat and I smoke the juicy part here. It had more fat in it here. But I don't know how much is going to be left here, so I might end up either smoke the whole thing or make pastrami. I'm gonna give it a shot and see what happens. Alright, I got it out from the vacuum pack and see if there's not, I usually buy them much bigger, and if there's not too much meat up in this end, then I'm just gonna, then it's not worth smoking unless I have something else I can put in the smoker at the same time. But let's get to it. Alright, let's start here. This, by the way, this is a, what is it called? Can't see it anymore. Equinox, I think it's called. Really good knives. And I'm gonna try and leave a thin layer on top of the meat, whether it's gonna be smoked brisket or if it's gonna be pastrami. It's good either way. A little bit of fat. And actually the pastrami is gonna be also be smoked, so it's just a different process. All right. Here's a little tip, by the way. If you have a granite countertop and a wooden cutting board, it's gonna slide all over the place when you're cutting it. So put a towel underneath the cutting board, between the cutting board and the countertop, and it's really sturdy and it's not gonna move anywhere. Okay, I'm by no means a pro butcher. I guess you can see that. Here's some more of that tough fat. But it also keeps it juicy when you're cooking it. Get this. All right. Enough. So this is what I have left. Oh, I don't know. I think I will. It's not very thick, even thick in here, because it's such a small brisket. See, so I'm gonna make pastrami out of the whole thing. That's gonna be super delicious. The best pastrami. Follow this recipe here, and you get the best pastrami you ever have had. Nothing better than pastrami sandwiches, I tell you that. Alright, I'm gonna put this aside and I'm gonna make some ingredients up. Alright, so now I have pulled up my Excel sheet with the recipe for the, it's right up there, from pastrami brine. And I will include that in the comment, a link, so you can download it and use that. As you can see, I type in the brisket weight in grams, and it will automatically add how much water. It will add 50% of the brisket weight in water and get a total here. And based on that total, it will add 2% salt, brown sugar 1%, cure number 1, 1/4%, pickle spice in tablespoons, and garlic cloves. And I have the recipe here. I simmer it for 3 minutes, then I freeze it and vacuum pack it with meat. I freeze it so my vacuum packer can't deal with liquid. So if you have one of the vacuum packs that can handle liquid, then you don't need that. I brine it for 10 days. Since I have the thicker end included, I'd probably give it more. You can't really over brine it. You can under brine, but you can't over brine it with this recipe here. And I'll type in the date, and it will give me the finished date here. So let me go and type in the weight, and you can see how it would come on over here. Yeah, and now it's 4,133 grams. And that populate all the fields. So I need 2,067 grams of water to make this brine. That'll be 69-70 ounce or 8.7 cups. That's the same. The total weight will be 6,200 grams. That's 6.2 kilos. I will have to add to the water, I will have to add 123.99 grams, 62 grams of brown sugar, 15.5 grams of cure number 1, 5 tablespoons of pickle spice, 9 minced cloves of garlic. On the date here, is it already down there? Yeah, it is. You have to type it in the format there. So today we have August 22, 2024. So 10 days will be on September 1st. But as I said, because I'm using the thicker end, I'll probably add like 5 days. So that'll be September 6th. So let's go back in the kitchen and make this brine. And I got the ingredients ready. Now I got the salt, the regular salt. Do not use iodized salt. Don't use that. That can give miscoloration, and I've seen it can give some yucky taste also. So you don't want to use that. You want to use non-iodized salt. And I have used Morton or natural canning and pickling salt, which is not iodized. That goes there. And I have the brown sugar, the pink salt, the cure number 1, and pickling spice. And I have the minced garlic. And here I have my water, and I'm just gonna put it all in there. Pickling salt, pickling spice. I just use it from Ball's pickling spice, and the garlic. And it smells good already. Gonna just bring it to a simmer, just pretty much get it up boiling and then take it off again. Let it cool, pour it in Ziploc bags, freeze it, so I can better vacuum pack the meat with the liquid. Alright, it's next day here, and I have frozen the brine. I just let it cool off after I cooked it, and then I put it in Ziploc bags and put it in the freezer. Make sure it's you make it kind of flat, and make sure they fit inside of your vacuum bags. You actually don't even need to do all this. You could use just a tray, as long as you keep your the meat submerged, and then flip it around a couple of times. But it's a little extra work, but it's also more of a convenience when I have it in the fridge for the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks or so. So I got the meat back, and I'll try to, oopsie, let me try to get this out and in here without wasting too much, because the amount of salt is all calculated in relation to the amount of meat. So it matters. It really matters. I gotta get the other one in here too. Alright. Here we go. There we go. That is, it smells so good. It smells so good, the brine here. Let me see. Could cut some of the meat off here. Come and cut some of the bag off. It's a little long, but on the other hand, it doesn't really matter. Oop. Get that salt in there. Here you go. So that's the whole idea with the frozen brine. That if I had liquid in here now, it will all just be sucked into the vacuum machine here. But because it's frozen, it stays in here. And when I'm gonna put it in the fridge, it will of course thaw out and turn into liquid again and start brining the meat. You can even you could also just put it in Ziploc bags, the whole thing. Yep. This is where I'm gonna start closing it. There's one, and I'm gonna give it a few more times here just to make sure that all the liquid don't run out when I get it in the fridge. And one more time. It's sealed and ready to go in the freezer. And I'm gonna just probably every day I gotta go in there, and then I'm just gonna flip it around so the liquid come around all the sides of the meat and everywhere, and have a chance to enter the meat. So yeah, I'll get back to you in about let me see how big it is. I would say 2 weeks. 15 days. 15 days, yeah. So it's been 23 days. Yeah, I know I talked about 15 days. I let it sit for 23 days, and it's time to move on with our pastrami project here. So we're gonna make the rub first, and we have 4 tablespoons of whole black peppercorn. We have 2 tablespoons of coarsely ground peppercorn. 2 tablespoons of 3 tablespoons of coriander powder. 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. We have paprika, 2 tablespoons. And 4 teaspoons of garlic powder. 4 teaspoons of onion powder. We have mustard seeds, and that'll be 1 teaspoon. And 1 teaspoon of mustard powder. And just gonna mix it all together here. So this is for a 10-pound brisket. You have a smaller one, you have to adjust the quantity accordingly. Get rid of all the big chunks here. Lots of pepper. Oh, it's gonna be so good. And this smells so good. Oh my God. Alrighty, let's get the brisket out from the fridge. And here we go. And I added, after I stopped filming last time, I added an extra vacuum bag just to make sure that I didn't get my fridge full of meat juices. Someone in this household would not have been very happy if that happened. So, better safe than sorry, right? And what we're gonna do now is empty all the juices out here. You're done with that. And we're just gonna rinse it off under the faucet. Here we go. Oh man, if you could smell this, it smells so good. I'm just gonna wipe it off. The next step is smoking. And actually, I used to make 2 extra steps. I used to smoke it until it was internal temperature 140 degrees. And then I sous vide it overnight. But I think I don't want to make this more difficult than it have to be, of course. So this time I will only smoke it. And when it reaches 140 degrees, I'm gonna wrap it completely in butcher's paper and aluminum foil and finish it up. I mean, that's gonna be almost like steaming it. Like it's really supposed to be. You keep all the moisture and juices and let it cook in its own goodies. So that is what I will do this time. And I can let you know if there's any difference from when I normally do sous vide, because I've done it so many times the other way, but never this way. But I can imagine there's gonna be a big difference, and it will be much easier. All right, it's cut. No, it's not cut. That's what I'm gonna do now, because that piece is too big for my smoker. And I'm gonna split it in two here. Yeah, it's about the same. Or should I make three? So it's easy to freeze in portions. Nah, I'm gonna do two when I'm preparing. There we go. Look at that color. Oh my god. I wanna just eat it like this. So yeah, I know some people will split it between the flat and the tip, and cut it in between. I don't care. I mean, see, that'll be the flat, I guess, and the tip up here. I have no idea. It doesn't matter. It's gonna end up the same place anyway, which is in my stomach and my wife's stomach and whoever stopped by to taste it. So let's get it rubbed. Okay, I'm gonna got it placed on my rack so I can, and on a tray so I can catch all the extras. I'm gonna try to make the even amount for both sides. And then I'm gonna let it sit in the fridge all night and absorb all this flavor. Oh my god, it smells so good. Oh man. I have a piece here. You should smell this. It seems like a big process to make pastrami, but you know, most of the time it's actually not working time, it's waiting time. So it is not as bad as it may seem to be. Okay, flip more. Flip that over too. Yeah. Kind of split it here between. You don't have peppery stuff all over the place here. Peppery rub it is, right? This, oh, the way it smells, it can only turn out good. All right, it's going in the fridge just like this, and I'm gonna get the smoker ready for tomorrow morning, and I'll be back then. So I got my briskets out and ready. I put the one probe in each of them, and got the smoker going. It was up to, I don't know if you, it looks like it's flashing. It says 209. It was it was up to 220 before when I opened it to take out my my smoke pipe here. It's been going for like 10 minutes, and I'm gonna have to put the camera down to put the meat in. For a second here. Here we go. I have a tray down there with water to keep the. There we go. Smoke pipe is in there, and the meat is in. Putting the probes out, and closing the door. Oh, hold on. All right. So now I'm just gonna wait until the meat temperature is up to 140. And then I'm gonna wrap them and let it go up to around 200. Yeah, there you can see we are right now about 40 in one of them and 39 in the other one. It rotates between up to how many? 6 probes I can have at the same time. I love this meat thermometer, and of course there's an app you can set. You can set the alarm. See, currently it's set at 165 for one of them and 195 for another one, and I'm gonna change them both to 140. It's awesome. It's precise, and I like the fact that you can have several probes in different places, and even if I only make one piece of meat, I can have different probes in the same piece, so I'm sure I get the right temperature. I can put a link down in the description. In regard to my smoker, that's a master built 40-inch mesh 40, and the box is really good, really sturdy. I don't care for the temperature control, and see, it probably don't even work anymore, and it doesn't matter because I cut the wires from the heating element back here, and I made my own temperature, my PID, my temperature control here. So now it's like the temperature I read now is 182. No. Yeah, 182. And that is plus minus a few degrees. This one, when I ran it in the beginning, the temperature would fluctuate with up to 40-50 degrees. I like to know where I'm at when it comes to temperature and cooking my meat, not some random number. 20, 30, 40, 50 degrees away from what I have set it to. So even if I have to have a new box when this one is worn out, I would buy a new master built, and I would immediately cut the wires to the heater element and use my own controller here. So we are at 140 degrees, and it's time to get these out and wrap them. There you go. Yeah, they look good. And I'm gonna wrap them in parchment paper. I didn't have any butcher paper, so I'm gonna first wrap them in parchment paper and then aluminum foil outside of that. And you may think, hey, I want more brown than this. You can do that. You can do whatever you want to, but the longer time you keep it in there without being wrapped, the more moisture you're gonna lose. And I have stuck with these 140 degrees for many years. Made many briskets like this, and this comes out really, really good. Alright, they both wrapped, and I got the probe in again, and I'm gonna put them back into the smoker. So this is what happened. I'm inside in the kitchen now, because as soon as I put them back into the smoker, I noticed that the temperature had dropped to 150 degrees on the smoker, and the heating element has burned out. So I'm gonna continue in here in the oven. I put it to 250 degrees. And that's totally okay actually at this time, because we did the smoking and it's all wrapped now. So all it's a matter of getting it heat and get it finalized. So we're gonna go with here, and I put the thermometer alert up to 195 degrees. Alright, so both of them are done. They reached 200 internal, and I'm gonna take them out and put them in the fridge to cool them down. I don't want it to sit and get warmer and warmer and have all the fat rendering in there. So in the freezer, in the fridge they go. It had been in there like an hour. Probes are cold and ice, but cold as ice. Not the roasts, not the pastrami. So let's see what we have in here. Juice flowing around in there, that's for sure. That's for sure. My goodness, the smell. Oh my God, it smells so good. How do we get this up? Let me cut it. Let me cut it. Here. Here we go. Oh my God. That is delicious. I'm gonna put it over on my cutting board. My fingers. Oh, it's still hot. It is still hot. Let's slide this one out of my way. And I guess it's bottom side up here. That's all right. How do the grain runs? I can feel it. It's tender. Look at that red color. Oh my God. Look at that. That is the definition of deliciousness. I'm gonna try the chop here. I have to try again. It's perfect. It's 100% perfect. It's just like, you know how I told you guys that I used to sous vide after I had smoked it? Never again. That's a waste of time. The saltiness from the brine is spot on. The spices from the rub and the spices in the brine, it's just perfect. I'm just gonna sample a little more. And this one goes right in here too. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask down in the comments. And if you like this video, then please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.